would give people today to ensure success in building a digital signage network is pre-planning from beginning to end. And content is important too. There are so many steps involved when installing digital signage. Do you have the right power? How are you going to mount the display? Are you ADA compliant? Will the display be properly ventilated? What kind of players are you going to use? How often are you going to switch the content? That's just the hardware portion of it. Then it's what kind of content management system are you going to use? Do you have someone in-house to create content? Do you know your customer so you know what kind of content to create? That would be my my advice to someone operating a new digital signage network. It's very important to pre-plan. Some of the biggest challenges I see happening in the retail business is e-commerce. In our business, we see a lot of sales shifting from wholesale, which would be like Macy's and Bloomingdale's, to e-commerce. So how that relates to digital signage, I think companies need to think about how to get the message out there to not only use e-commerce, because we love that, but try to get into the wholesale department too. So I think shifts in purchasing and how younger generations are purchasing is going to affect the retail business, especially now because I see young people purchasing experiences more than material goods. So how do you shift that? How do you make that work for your company? Some of the ways we're doing that in Eileen Fisher is offering streaming discussions, having leaders in the industry discuss, and we invite people into the store and we live stream the event. So that's an experience, right? And it gets you in the store. So that's one way to kind of help you shift your business model to keep in time with how people are purchasing. People need to understand their customer in order to create the content they feel the customer wants to see. It's important to keep your brand focused and how you sell your brand. Another pitfall, I think, is expanding your digital network. Technology moves so fast. Oftentimes, players can't keep up with the new technology. For instance, 4K, or now we have a lot of screens that are different sizes. 1920 by 360. Can your video player support that strange aspect ratio? So keeping up to date with the technology is very difficult. In some ways, we're getting the message out there that we're environmentally friendly. We're a B corporation and have been for many years. We use dyes that don't affect the environment. We pay our workers fair wages. We use organic materials, and these messages we're getting out to the public. And I think a younger demographic appreciates that more. They seem to understand the dangers of what's happening in the environment and treating workers fairly. So we're getting that message out to attract that younger viewer. We think that younger purchaser, or that person who's viewing this information will say, you know what, I have a connection there. I feel the same way Eileen Fisher does, and I want to support that cause. And I'm going to do that by buying a garment. Yeah, part of our messaging over the past year has been little documentaries about how we make our product. For instance, we have this cotton that we get from Peru. So we have a small documentary playing on our screens about how we treat the Peruvian workers, what their fields are like, what kind of environmentally friendly pesticides they're using, how everything Eileen Fisher is producing from that community helps the community. Part of what we want to do is help the community that creates our goods. Look to more odd-shaped displays, definitely. More variations on video walls. It's not just a regular video wall. We now see just junctured displays angled and stuff is great. So that's something I would look out for, and prepare your network to be able to accommodate those new aspect ratios. I love DSE because it puts everything new in one space. If I'm looking for a particular product, I know that I can come to DSE and see 10 or 15 different vendors that have that product, and what little differences they can offer me really helps me in researching new technologies.